What are some common signs that someone grew up with SHTTY parents? I knew a kid who'd instinctively cover his head whenever someone was behind him, and he'd refuse to sit or stand anywhere that didn't have his back to a wall. His older siblings beat him up regularly. He'd frequently be coming to school with fresh bruises, and when a girl tried to comfort him, he thought she was just trying to lure him into a trap and hit her, which got him expelled, and growing up I'd see him around town. He dropped out of school completely and got into drugs. His parents never gave a shit. Never. Not fucking once. He had nothing because his older brothers would steal and destroy anything he ever owned. Even his clothes, so he'd wear the same thing for weeks on end. Is it any surprise that he's been in and out of prison all his adult life? Parental apathy is fucking shit. And to add a cherry on top, his abusive older brothers went on to live pretty happy, fulfilling lives. But the little brother they tortured and abused for years became the societal and family outcast. They are always trying to figure out what they did wrong and what they're supposed to be doing and how, while editing their own thoughts and feeling vaguely bad. Delivered a pizza today. The kid, around 15, said sorry over 20 times, and I was at his door for less than 2 minutes. When I told my professor in graduate school that I wasn't going home for Christmas, he said, "Oh yeah. I mean, your parents can't be the best company. I've seen you apologize for being too polite." Like, yeah. They don't form attachments to others. They grew up in an environment where such attachments were a negative and/or resulted in negative outcomes. They go out of their way to please people. They can't take compliments because they're so used to being put down. They flinch if they hear someone raise their voice or at loud noises. Edit. I'm going to add in the fact that they're not good, uncomfortable with conflict even if they're not directly involved, because they inevitably get dragged into the conflict when their parents are arguing. People who flinch at close contact or fast hand movements close to them. People who try way too hard to please and are terrified to put themselves first. This is the saddest trait because it's the easiest for fresh predators to take advantage of when the parents are out of the picture. If only terrible parents knew or cared that they were grooming their kids for future abuse. Having no desire to see them. The startle reflex. When they flinch at loud noises. Or when someone puts a hand on their shoulder. Or when they feel they've done something wrong. A patient called me the wrong name, and when I gently clarified, he flinched like he was about to dodge a blow. Control freak. They grew up in chaos, alcoholism, gambling, foreclosure, and are obsessed with averting some unforeseen disaster. They suck at apologizing. Either they apologize for every small little thing because their parents made them feel guilty just for existing, or they never apologize at all, or only apologize insincerely, because admitting you are wrong is a sign of weakness. They say sorry too much for things they shouldn't even be sorry for, especially for things like opinions or asking for things they want. Flinching around knives, self-depreciative jokes, constant thoughts of, I wouldn't have to deal with this if I killed myself a week ago, per month ago, years ago. Overwhelming urge to take others' pain away because they remember how they felt in that kind of situation. Not exclusively cutting, but self-harm, sometimes in more subtle ways like bad personal hygiene. Because they feel like a rotting corpse on the inside, so they want to reflect how they feel. Intrusive thoughts. Social anxiety because their parents were always controlling. Constant need for reassurance. It's a long list. They tell traumatized stories and think they are happy memories. It's the way they apologize. For example, it's not just sorry. It's sorry, 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 said quick and urgently to avoid being hit. No privacy boundaries because they were never given any. Not being able to remember the majority of their childhood. I'm talking about huge gaps of time you just cannot recall. I get it. Repressing the memories is just the mind trying its best to protect itself. Well, this relaxing walk through childhood hell was a nice break from reading about the start of WW3. Or not.
They flinch when they hear someone raise their voice.
If you enjoyed this video, please check out our playlists full of similar content. Epic Ericast is like doom scrolling for your ears. Please like, share, and subscribe.